Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing grooming, which is a tactic that a lot of perpetrators and predators use to specifically target children or adults in some cases. It's most common that grooming takes place before sexual abuse of a child, but there are also other types of grooming, and I want to go over what is grooming, how it happens, and the steps that predators and pedophiles take in order to begin the grooming process. So let's get started. So the first step of grooming oftentimes is to select a victim, to select a target. And oftentimes when a predator does that, they choose someone who is on the quieter side, who's more shy, who's not going to scream or be super outspoken, someone who they can isolate, and who is, as they view it, an easy target. And usually that would consist of someone who is smaller in size, more petite, and unfortunately that is why oftentimes grooming occurs for children. The second step in grooming is gaining access to that child, which can happen in so many different ways. There are so many different types of situations in which grooming happens. For example, a family friend befriends your family members in order to get access to you or the child. The third step is to isolate the victim. Usually predators do this by having one-on-one time, and they do that with the preface of, I'm going to teach you how to do this skill, or we're going to work on this math equation, or a lot of different things like that. The fourth step is to develop trust with the person, with the victim. And oftentimes predators do that by giving gifts. A lot of times there'll be gift giving, or giving sweets or chocolates, that kind of stuff to a child works very well. But this isn't the type of stranger danger, guy holding a bag of candy telling a kid get into a car. That usually is not how grooming and child abuse happen. Usually it's someone that's familiar to the family, that is even in the family, that really knows the ins and outs of how they can isolate that child. The fifth step is desensitizing a child from sexual or physical contact and sexual content. And this can often happen when predators introduce a child into pornography, viewing, watching. It can also happen when a predator slowly introduces touches, but then gives the child a reward for allowing those touches, or compliments and things that cause the child or the person to feel that they're being good for allowing whatever is happening to happen. And then step 6 is post-abuse maintenance, which sounds very weird, but that would be your predator saying, it's just our little secret, and so you don't need to tell anyone, this is just between us, other people wouldn't understand, that kind of a thing. And then also continual either threats or shaming the child, or the adult, making them feel less than, so that they will not speak up about what is going on. So that's a little bit of a background of what grooming is. I'm also going to be filming a video on my personal grooming experience and why I think this topic is so important to discuss. And I'll also make another video about grooming in adults, because I think that's also important to understand. A lot of the focus of the title grooming is on children, which makes sense because oftentimes it is children, but I want to bring awareness to the fact that adults can also be victims of grooming. Grooming is a horrible thing that oftentimes leads to abuse, whether it be sexual, emotional, mental, financial, or cultural. And it is extremely dehumanizing, and I just want to say to anyone who has maybe experienced it personally that you're very strong, and even if it doesn't feel like it now, I promise that you will get to a point where each day feels easier. And I recommend talking to someone about it, whether it's a licensed professional or a friend or a family member, but talking about it ultimately will help you get to a point where you feel more in control of your life and you don't feel the shame that and the stigmas that come with grooming. So thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. I post a lot of information about grooming and about child abuse and education, prevention, awareness, and all sorts of other topics surrounding these very stigmatized elements of our society that's just horrendous, but someone needs to talk about it, and I've been through it, and I want to use my voice to create change. And so thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.